It was a quiet small-town evening in Durham, but one name was resurfacing in hushed conversations and cautious whispers: Ken Parks. Over 3 decades ago, his story shocked a nation, a tale of violent sleepwalking and a courtroom drama that had Canadians riveted. But now, in a twist few saw coming, Parks was re-entering the public eye, not as a defendant, but as a candidate, a school trustee of all things. In Durham, people were torn. Could a man acquitted of a brutal crime be trusted with a position shaping young minds? The year was 1987. Parks, a regular guy with a wife and a gambling problem, had been caught in a bizarre tragedy that seemed torn from the pages of a thriller. On that fateful night, Parks claimed he'd driven 20 kilometers in his sleep, arriving at his in-laws' house only to commit a horrifying act. He attacked his mother-in-law, killing her in the middle of his sleepwalking days, and left his father-in-law fighting for his life. Then, as if awaking from a nightmare, he'd driven to a nearby police station, still covered in blood, and confessed, "I think I've killed 2 people." For law enforcement, the scene was clear-cut. A troubled man, financially desperate, had lashed out in violence. But as the trial unfolded, Parks' defense took a turn no one could have anticipated. He was asleep, his lawyers claimed, in a state of complete unconsciousness throughout the entire ordeal. Medical experts testified that he'd been struggling with sleepwalking for years, and that night he was not himself. In a rare and chilling ruling, the court agreed, accepting his unusual defense and clearing him of both charges. The case rose to Canada Supreme Court, each twist and turn deepening the intrigue. Parks' acquittal left the public divided, and for years the question of his guilt lingered. But as time passed, his story faded, until now running for school trustee, a position that demanded integrity, honesty, and a clean past. Ken Parks was once again sparking debates. Durham residents found themselves confronting tough questions. Could a man with such a complex history represent their children? Some parents recalled his fraud conviction, a reminder of his past with financial deception, not easily dismissed. University professor Anne Lesage voiced the concerns of many, wondering aloud if his checkered past was truly behind him. Civil servant Alan MacDonald echoed the sentiment, saying that while the sleepwalking defense might be medically plausible, the other skeletons in Parks' closet could pose a deeper ethical issue. As the election drew near, the town seemed torn between fear and forgiveness. Parks had since received treatment for his sleep disorder, they learned, and had gone on to become a father of 6 children, 5 of whom were in Durham schools. His bid for trustee was an attempt to turn over a new leaf, but his past shadowed him like a ghost. In every conversation, every debate, his story resurfaced, a reminder of a night long ago that had left a mark on Canadian legal history. For those familiar with sleepwalking, the details of Parks' condition brought new questions to light. Sleepwalking, somnambulous, was a rare disorder, but severe cases, they learned, could indeed lead to strange and sometimes violent behaviors. Parks' case was an outlier, a dark mystery even within the field of sleep medicine, raising questions about human consciousness and responsibility. As election day approached, the people of Durham held their breath. Ken Parks had once been a figure shrouded in infamy, and now standing at the intersection of past and future, he was once again under the watchful eye of his community. Would they allow him a chance to redeem himself, or would the shadow of his past forever block his path to a second chance? In Durham, the story of Ken Parks was far from over, and the final chapter had yet to be written.